Louisiana versus all y'all. Jarrett Roser here with the second half of basically a home and home, I guess, this Friday. So double thanks to Jordy Culotta for having me on the new Jordy Culotta Show this morning and then joining me on Louisiana versus all y'all to chat a little bit about how the first month or so of that show's how it's been going, branching into a YouTube broadcast, going solo after the years over at ESPN. Jordy, what's up, man? Long time no see.
My man, Jared, it's good to be with you, bro. Thank you for coming by this morning to the undisclosed location. It was good to see that the horse got you in safely.
It was a pleasure. And as I told you, man, anytime I can come swing by, just send that horse out and I'll be happy to follow.
No, man, we're looking forward. This gives us, this move gives us a really good opportunity to work together and kind of come together and think outside the box. And, that's one of the positives of being in this space is, things that, you and I have talked about or thought about for a long time that we can finally put into action and execute.
Yeah. I had talked recently with some folks about this idea of, I think it's sort of a traditional question to ask, where do you see yourself in 5 years? Where do you see yourself in 10 years? And in recent years with the direction of the industries, I've realized that there's a good chance that whatever we're doing in 5 or 10 years is something that doesn't exist yet, or you certainly wouldn't have thought about. And so I think that's probably where you find yourself, where if you told yourself 10 years ago getting started, hey, you're going to be hosting a YouTube daily show, it was probably not something that ever would have crossed your mind. So take me through sort of the genesis of that and where you guys got started with that idea and how it all started to formulate.
We really started to see the change in our medium over the last couple of years in moving into a digital space. Whether it was selling it or whether it was executing it on the air, you could see that the real move for the consumer was trying to find a way to listen and see what was going on and have that in their hand. They wanted it in their cell phone. They wanted it in their tablet. They wanted it connected to their PlayStation. They wanted it on their smart television. And that began really, within the last 5 years. And YouTube was able to see that a little bit far in front, a little ahead of the curve of cable television dying, digital products rising, and giving people a platform which they could, call it industry, and see if you can't plant them in one place and try and capitalize off of your network. And, we had some things happen with us and we had some momentum and, we wanted to get back out into the public and be able to give our opinions and bring people like you and interesting people into conversations. And, YouTube made a lot of sense. First and foremost, Jared, it gives you an opportunity to monetize. It gives you an opportunity to put together a plan. And if you got the audience, if you got, the followers of the tribe, you can monetize that. And, I think that anybody out there that's very liberating that you can own your own. Now it's not monumental money and it's not life-changing money. But it could be if you figure out the correct formula and you can find a niche and find a specialty in which you can speak on or which you can relate to people on. It could happen. There's examples out there. So it's been an interesting ride. We continue to learn. We continue to see the evolution. We're on a couple of platforms. We're on Facebook. We're on YouTube. We're looking at Twitch. We're continuing to look all over the place, but this is the absolute present day of how we operate in media is, everybody can ask a question. Everybody can have a press conference. Everybody can form their own news and opinion. So, we're trying to be a little bit different in that area right now.
And you mentioned sort of the realization over time of that direction, and you guys have done a great job with that, with the show over at ESPN of getting involved on YouTube and just being able to reach the audiences in different ways. whenever it became clear that you were about to take a step in a new direction, was there hesitation or uncertainty or a little bit of nervousness of going this route? Because that's something that, talking to a professor, an old professor of mine from college recently, he mentioned something about, I guess, our age range just kind of continues to amaze him in this. He says it's a lack of fear and just kind of trusting in yourself and rolling the dice and branching out there. And I told him, I don't know that it's necessarily a complete lack of fear, but it is sort of a calculated thing and overcoming that because you do have that faith in which you can deliver.
Absolutely. And I think, we come from, or at least I do, I've been in survival mode my whole career, it feels like. It's in our business, it's dog eat dog, and it's cutthroat, and you got to be able to find a way to differentiate and to stand out. And I think in a certain sense, that's ultimately what we did. We bet on ourselves on this platform and saying that we can do something every day. We can fertilize it and be there every single day and build content and bring people with us and do interesting stuff. And but yeah, hell yeah, there was some fear. Hell yeah, there's some doubt, and there still is, in the sense of, once you establish it, or once you announce it, you got to maintain it. You got to find new ways to take it to another level. You got to find ways to continue to evolve it. And it's exactly what with the brand that you've built. I mean, it's very powerful. It's very recognizable. But you have to continue to refine that, and that's where we are, in the sense of, we know we're being a little different. We're zigging while everybody's zagging, but we got to make sure that we continue to stay out in front and make the right decisions that put us in the best place to succeed.
What were some of those early conversations like with Rivers and the rest of the crew over there as you started to build out the full team, and how quickly did everyone kind of jump on board, and how quickly did the excitement build?
Yeah, they did. And really it's a testament to the team. I mean, we all have specialties, right? We all have lanes, and, to do this thing, everybody's got to kind of find their lane and just go, man, and just run. And that's what we did. Rivers she's a social media warrior. I mean, just an absolute difference maker when it comes to social media, the way she understands it, the way she monitors it, the way that she, really just puts her or whoever she's representing, in conversations and in people's minds. And, she did an excellent job of getting us out there and announcing that we were about to launch. And, behind the scenes, we had great support from Nick Ashton, who, has worked with us in the past, and Michael Thompson, who's a local engineer and camera specialist behind the scenes here locally at WVLA, and Lloyd Courtney had come over, who we had met, working at some previous stops, and his audio capabilities and his audio expertise was really what he did. And mine was the creative mind and selling and getting out there and getting them. Jared, we're taking unproven and unanalytical media to business owners and asking them to trust us, where they've got options and they've got media budgets in which they've got to stick to. These are the times where you gotta build the brand and make yourself relatable and make yourself sellable to advertisers, so you can withstand this startup portion of the business. So I have nothing to show Lee Carney at Go Chevrolet. I've got nothing to prove to him that what we're doing right now is going to work, has worked, it's going to work in this space. You just got to trust me, man, that we're going to get this thing moving, and we're going to sustain it, and that we will make you relevant and get it into people's hands that can spend money and buy cars. And that's the part of the process in which we're in right now. And everybody had a lane. Everybody had, hey man, Rivers, take this social media and run. Michael and Lloyd, take this technology part and run. Nick, get behind them, help them out, do anything that you can ancillarily, and just go. I'll make sure that creatively we've got good ideas, good thoughts, and that we're out there and we're selling. And then, we had Katie Algood who came aboard, and, she really just kind of organized us. I mean, she really just kind of from a back end. I mean, like I tell everybody, they're like, what's Katie do? I mean, the way that I summarize it is she's making sure we're going to pay our taxes. I mean, she's going to make sure that we're going to stay out of jail. I mean, she's keeping us organized and on time, and everybody, what everybody does is monumental to the program. Nobody means more, nobody means less, because you take one of them out of the wheel and it'll quit spinning.
It's funny you mentioned that kind of role for Katie, and that is something that with that Score U circuit that we talked about this morning that Julian and a few of us and I are working on, we quickly realized we needed someone to kind of keep us on task and keep track of some of the bookkeeping and all those things, and made sure we brought in a girl, Liz, that could get us on track in that regard.
Right.
With where you guys are after a month compared to where you thought you'd be or hoped you'd be, whether that be in terms of sponsorship or audience on different platforms, are you guys far exceeding what you expect? Are you right on track? Are you a little bit behind? Where are you?
I think we've exceeded in a lot of areas, and I think there's some things that we lack. There's some things that keep me up at night on where are we at. I mean, it's everything in running and starting a business that, some things surprise you and say, wow, that's working really well. Or, I mean, I didn't anticipate that to work as good as it is now. Or, man, I thought that this was going to be a little bit better. I thought this was going to make a little bit bigger of a splash. Just kind of figuring those things out. But, as far as where we are today to where we started, I think that we've traveled 1,000,000 miles. I really do.
Yeah.
I mean, because we still have the mentality of we're just trying to get it better and just trying to refine it every day. And I think if we keep that, we'll never really get there. You're never really going to get to that product, that end goal that you see. But it keeps everybody driven. It keeps everybody motivated. It keeps everybody pulling in the right direction. And when you have that mentality, and you were in the room, and I think that people can feel it. It's good to feel people or hear people talk about what's going on. But I think people can feel that we have an energy about us that we're very motivated. We're very driven. We don't mind hearing the word no. We don't mind being told to go a different way. We don't mind saying that it's going to be a little tougher from where you're coming from. We're ready for all that. And, all the conversations that we've had, whether it be with business owners or potential sponsors, I think they see that. And a lot of our conversations have ended with, we want to grow with y'all, with us. We want to grow together. A lot of us are starting in the same spot where, a guy like Barrett Blondo at Falaya Real Estate, he just started his company, in February. I mean, in January. And he's getting off the ground, and our growth process will always kind of be tied to each other. And we'll kind of see how each other has grown since our start date, being alongside and us helping him with the advertising and him helping us with the word of mouth. And it's, it just kind of goes hand in hand.
You mentioned continuing to grow. You guys obviously have the 7 to 9 show every weekday, and you just announced this week that you guys will be bringing Whitney Bro on for the Gridiron show starting here on International Women's Day. What can you tell me more about some expectations for that, as well as just things to watch from your team overall moving forward that folks that have liked that first month should keep an eye on as you continue to progress?
Well, I've known Whitney for a long time and have always said she's a friend first. And, our love and friendship started around sports. She's very passionate around football. And, she would always be around someone, whether it was remotes or whether it was shows on remote locations. She would always be there talking football. And then she was diagnosed with breast cancer and fought through that and, created the Day 18 Foundation that, really was a incredible, just notice to women and men around our area and really around the country, to bringing awareness on how you could get in front of breast cancer. And she's so confident. She's so strong. She's so well versed in in all areas. You know, she comes from the corporate world where she's dominated over the last decade. She graduated in media. I cannot believe that this is the first time she's publicly doing something behind a microphone. I really can't. I mean, she is if you've never seen her publicly speak, I mean, she commands a room. She's got all types of respect, and you know, I mean, her story's incredible. And I think what she's going to do is she's going to bring that to the, you know, the CJC media umbrella. But you know, under her once a week gridiron show, she'll talk to women that are influential, whether it be throughout the sports or business world. She'll give her opinion on what's happening in the sports world. She will talk a little bit about football and have some cool segments. But really, it's really spotlighting her. Like I tell her all the time, and you know, she embraces it to a degree, but she knows it's going to be work. But she's really the superstar. I mean, people are coming to hear her. They're coming to hear what she has to say, who she's talking to, what she's endorsing, and you know, we want to continue to find. You know, I mean, Jared, like, you know, stuff that you do. I mean, that stuff that makes a lot of sense for what we want to do on our you know, our network. People that are local, that have a following, that have a certain niche. That, you know, I mean, somebody was telling me when you go out to 7-on-7 tournaments, I mean, it's like showing up with a rock star. That people, they know that if you're there, they're in the right spot. And when we have you on, we specifically want to hear about that world. And like when you get up this morning, we have people texting us and telling us that, you know, that was great information. That's exactly what we want to do. But, you know, we want to find people with specialties. We want to find people with niches. We want to find people with followings, and we want to find people that have a voice, and that aren't scared to promote it, and aren't scared to put it out there. And, you know, we're very proud to be partnered with Whitney for our first partnership.
There you go, man. Well, I certainly, again, appreciated the opportunity to come visit with y'all. And again, appreciate you chatting some more about how it's gone so far on y'all's end. Definitely been, since you guys announced that you were going to be starting the show, I wanted to catch up a little bit and just kind of explore some of that, because I'm sure it was some nerve-wracking moments to decide to make that bet on yourself. But from the outside, it certainly looks like it's going very well, and y'all are having a lot of fun in the process.
Well, we are, man, and we appreciate you stopping by this morning, and we look forward to working a lot more together and getting you out and cross-promoting our stuff on your stuff, and you coming on. And, you know, we need some of that Louisiana versus all y'all gear, man.
Yeah, the next time I come by, I've got to have something for everybody, and certainly look forward to doing that. Thanks again, Jordy.
Thank you, Jay. I'll see you, bro.
You got it. Again, that's Jordy Culotta with the new Jordy Culotta Show. I got some of their swag this morning, and appreciate him stopping by on Zoom to chat for Louisiana versus all y'all. For Louisiana versus all y'all, Jarrett Roser. Thanks.